What is going on, guys? Johnny on the track back with another video. Been a couple weeks since I made a video and put something out there, but just been busy. Thanksgiving, holidays right around the corner, so just been busy trying to find time to upload. But I think we got a good episode today, if that's even what you want to call this. But just some content looking into the Daytona 500. A lot of unknowns, I think, with the Daytona 500. I look at this group of drivers that we're going to have in 2023, and I think it's the most stacked field of Cup drivers we have seen in quite some time, perhaps ever, to be honest. I think you can make that argument. There's about 26 plus guys that I think you can make an argument that they can go out and win a race every Sunday. So I'm excited. And so what I'm going to do today is go through a couple, I think 4 in total, dark horse Daytona 500 picks that I have. I looked at the odds, looked at the guys that I think are flying under the radar at this upcoming Daytona 500. And I just want to get them on your radar now. Maybe you can play some early bets if that's what you're looking to do. I've got their odds and everything. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So the first guy that I think is a major dark horse to win this Daytona 500 is a guy who still will be racing full-time in the Xfinity Series for RCR, but is going to be racing for Beard Motorsports. That car was, if you remember for a while, was Brendan Gaughan. Last year, it was Noah Gragson, who was not able to qualify that team for the Daytona 500. But this year, it will be Austin Hill, a 75-1 bet right now. That's plus 7,500 to win the Daytona 500. I think you have to look at Austin Hill's track record. He's a 2-time Daytona winner in trucks and Xfinity. He also won at Atlanta last year in Xfinity and finished second at the spring Atlanta race. So had a really, really good record last year at super speedways. And then you look at that team, the Beard Motorsports team. They've got 4 top 10 finishes at super speedways since 2019. So this isn't some scrub car or team, if you will. This is a good, solid team that knows that they can compete for top 5s and top 10s at super speedways, and they bring a good, fast car. I liked Noah Gragson in that car last year. I really did. But I do think in terms of just super speedway racing, I think Austin Hill is a step up for Noah Gragson. I think he's going to qualify this team, and I think he's going to have a really, really good shot to win this thing. I want to say he's an underrated super speedway racer, but at this point in his career, from what you saw him do in the Xfinity Series last year, I don't think he's underrated at all. I think he's a very, very solid super speedway racer that at 75-1, I mean, you should look at that now. That's near the 100-1 Michael McDowell odds in 21. So I think it's a good bet. And I think it's a guy that definitely can get it done. The next 2 drivers, and I put this in a team, 2 drivers together, is Cowlick Racing, both plus 5,000, Justin Haley and AJ Allmendinger. Haley, obviously, 5-time super speedway winner, a 3-time Daytona winner. That includes a Cup win. Yes, it was a shortened race, but still, Justin Haley does have a Daytona win in his Cup Series career. And, you know, you look back at the summer Daytona race prior to rain falling and the leaders wrecking, Justin Haley was leading that race. So I think if the caution had come out when the drivers wanted to come out about a lap earlier, he's probably leading at that final restart. And, you know, I don't know what happens there because, like I said, this guy's a 5-time super speedway winner and a 3-time Daytona winner. So, really, really good, solid debut season for Cowlick last year and Justin Haley. I think he's going to have a lot of improvements in terms of the playoffs, although he wasn't in it, he was very, very solid in that last stretch of the season. So Justin Haley, definitely a guy to target and look at plus 5,000. And then his teammate, AJ Allmendinger, finally back full-time in the Cup Series. And also, another finally, he finally got his first super speedway win at Talladega in October earlier this year. Look, he finished top 5 in all but one super speedway last year in the Xfinity Series. And the one that he didn't finish top 5, it was a top 10. He's got 4 top 5s in his last 4 Daytona Xfinity races. He's got 2 third-place finishes in 500s. I think when you look at AJ Allmendinger, he is a very, very solid super speedway racer, and he's there when it counts. And finally, he was there when it counted to finally win one. So AJ Allmendinger, he is a dangerous threat, I think, in terms of the playoffs next year, in terms of possibly making a championship run. I think he's going to be as motivated as ever to finally have, that season that we all think he can have in Cup. Better late than never. And I think that better late than never is going to come next season for AJ Allmendinger. Watch out. I would not be surprised if he opens up his campaign being back in the Cup Series with a Daytona 500 win. I think a lot of fans would love to see that. So plus 5,000 for Haley and Allmendinger, 2 major dark horses that watch out, definitely. And then the final guy is a guy that is a 7-time Cup champion, a 2-time Daytona 500 champion, one of the greatest drivers of all time in our sport. That is Jimmie Johnson. I just look at this and I think you cannot count Jimmie Johnson out of anything. Do I think he'll win? Probably not. Can he? Hell yeah, he absolutely can. He's never been that super speedway ace like a Keselowski, like a Hamlin, but he can get it done when he needs to. And I just look at what we saw with him in IndyCar. No offense to Jimmy, because I love Jimmy, but that career, that IndyCar stint was a joke. I mean, right? Like it was, and I feel like we can all agree on that. Here now, I think he is ready to finally prove that he's still got it, that he can still race. Because I think a lot of people were asking questions like, does he still have it? And I think he does. And there's no better way for Jimmie Johnson to announce his return to NASCAR, not full time, but still his return to NASCAR than with a Daytona 500 win. I think right now, the way I look at the all-time top 5, this is just me personally. I go Jeff Gordon 1, Dale Earnhardt 2, Jimmy 3, Petty 4, Pearson 5. Now, I think if Jimmie Johnson can somehow win another Daytona 500, I think he has an argument for number 1 all time. I think he has a really solid argument at number 2 all time. But wherever you rank him, I think if he were to do this, if he were to pull this off, really honestly, if he were just to be in contention to win this thing, I think you have to look at it and say, maybe he is 1, maybe he is 2, wherever, let's say you put him at 3 or 4. I think you do have to put him a little higher up in your rankings. And that starts with me. Like I said, Gordon 1, Earnhardt 2, Johnson 4, Johnson 3, Petty 4, Pearson 5. So I just don't count Jimmie Johnson out. That's what I'm telling you. 30-1 right now, plus 3,000. I think it's a fun bet. I think everybody would want to see this happen. There's not a single person at this point in our sport rooting against Jimmie Johnson. I don't see it. Even like diehard Gibbs fans who hate Hendrick, or Haas fans that hate Hendrick. You can hate Hendrick. I mean, you can hate Elliott and Larson and Byron and Bowman, but this is no longer Hendrick. He's now with Petty GMS, partnered with Richard Petty. And he's the king, really, right? Of his generation, of his era, coming back and looking to get it done. So I'm super excited to see Jimmie Johnson give it another shot to win his 3rd Daytona 500. And I would not be if 1 in a million, right, that he pulls it off. But I think that one has a pretty solid chance of happening. So we'll see. Only time can tell. So those are my dark horse Daytona 500 winners. Austin Hill 75-1 right now with Beard Motorsports. Our two Cowlig Racing full-time drivers 50-1, Justin Haley and AJ Allmendinger, and then 30-1 the 7-time champion, the 2-time Daytona 500 winner Jimmy Johnson. Thank you for watching. Please want to hear what you guys think in the comments for your Daytona 500 dark horse winners. And subscribe for more content.